Let's try to zoom in at the very end. God, look at that. Just goes on forever. I mean, just look at how insane this line is. I don't think I've ever done a line of firecrackers quite this large. That was one of the more insane things I think I've ever done. In the world of firecrackers, there is a thing called Tau. So if we look at a box of firecrackers like this, you'll see something here that says 10,000 Tau, but then below that it says 2,492 firecrackers. So does that mean there's 10,000 firecrackers in this box? No, it means there's 2,492. This is 150,000 firecrackers. We have 30 boxes of the 2,492s, 9 boxes of the 4,582s, and we have 2 of the 16,000 rolls. This is probably a ridiculous number in Tau, but that is the true count of firecrackers that is in front of me. 150,000. You might be wondering, why are we setting off this many firecrackers? And to that I would say, do we actually need a reason? I think today we're just gonna blow up an ungodly amount of firecrackers just for the fun of it. All right, let's show you what these things are all about. We'll start with the smaller of the two. All right, so this is the 10,000 Tau. Otherwise like 2,500 firecrackers. Man, we're gonna have to open up a lot of these boxes. All right, so if I just tear the top part off, this is what it looks like. So we have a bunch of rolls that are gonna look like this. Now this thing here in the middle, I believe that's a head bomb. Let's open it up and find out. Man, this is gonna take forever to open all these. All right, so I found where it starts. Right here you can see the green fuse. I wish it would roll out a little easier. Maybe once we get past the first layer, that's still kind of difficult. All right, let's take this out to the gravel. There it goes. All right, so that's a lot, and this is the smallest roll that we have. Okay, so let's look at this thing here at the end. I'm gonna unroll it. What the heck is this gonna be? There's your head bomb, and you can see it's got quick fuse going in there. So these firecrackers are gonna be a little bit louder than these ones in the strip. And just to show you how long this is, I mean, this line is longer than the length of my pickup. Pretty insane, and we're gonna have a whole bunch of these. All right, let's tear into the 4,500 roll. Same size head bomb, this is what I was wondering about. So this thing here in the middle is the exact same size as it was on the 2,500 roll. Not gonna lie, it's a little difficult to get these opened up. You can see it's just tearing through the paper. It's kind of easier when you throw the roll on the ground and just let it unravel. Man, it just couldn't be any windier out today. So to get them to chain, we're kind of gonna do something like this, where that head bomb will light the next roll. And let's see if we can get this to, I wanna get past the first. There we go, it should be easier now. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, we're gonna keep it moving. Man, we're still not done. These 16,000 rolls are gonna be nuts. Like, look at this in comparison to that. Holy cow, we're really doing it. And here's your head bomb. Wow. So if it wasn't obvious, we have an absolute ton of setup to do. 150,000 firecrackers is gonna take a while to set up. I'm gonna take one of these 16,000 rolls and unravel it with this line. We'll make it really long. With the rest of the firecrackers, I'm gonna be putting stations throughout this giant strip we're gonna have, so that as the firecrackers are traveling down this line, we'll have a few segments where it's a barrage. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Now, before we continue, you guys might be surprised to hear that I ordered all 150,000 of these firecrackers on the internet. In fact, I actually did it right on my phone. So the website I got these from is called fireworksplus.com. What's cool about Fireworks Plus is they don't force you into buying cases of fireworks, and you can just purchase them by the piece. You don't often see that with modern day firework websites. A lot of times you actually have to buy the entire case. But one thing this company does is allow you to purchase one item out of that case, if that makes sense. Fireworks Plus does offer free shipping on any orders over $600. And if you guys would like to use my coupon code at checkout, I don't make any commission on it, but you will get 10% off. And that coupon code is CodyBPyrotechnics. All right, let's get on with the firecrackers. you have it, folks. That is what 150,000 actual firecrackers looks like. Not tau, this is actual count. So I'm gonna go down there and we'll just walk the line together. I mean, as we're walking down, just look at this freaking pile. That's like my middle finale. Real one is down there, but wow, I mean, look at this. I'm taking pretty big strides here and we're not even to the end of this. Holy cow. Well, I just got over here to the start and we'll see what kind of zoom I can actually get you. Let's try to zoom in at the very end. God, look at that. Just goes on forever. I certainly didn't think 150,000 firecrackers was gonna look like this. So obviously this is where we're gonna be lighting it from, and I have a GoPro down here to capture some cool ground shots of it. I'm gonna have another one down there, of course. But yeah, let's just take you on down the enormous strip of firecrackers, 150,000 in total. This is one of the more crazier things I've done, especially with firecrackers. So these things that you're seeing about every couple of feet, these are gonna be the 2,500 rolls. And the reason that I put so many of them going down the line is so that it doesn't get too boring. I know that must be weird to say because with 150,000 firecrackers, how could it possibly get boring? But we are adding these in as kind of a bonus. So that way we have volleys of like 3,000 firecrackers going off at a single time. And as you can see, we are still walking down the enormous line. I mean, look at these steps I'm taking. Once again, right here is where we connected one of those first rolls to, I believe, the first 16,000 roll, and it just continues, man. Look at this. So again, these are all 2,500 rolls of firecrackers, and then right here, I kind of put this in at the halfway point. So if I do a pan down that way, you can see we're about halfway down, and then going that way towards the end. This is my little halfway point finale, and the reason I did this is because we were actually gonna run out of room unless I made the line bigger. But if I made the line of firecrackers bigger, I don't actually have a camera that would have been able to capture the entire line. So this is what we did here, just trying to, eliminate some of those extra 2,500 rolls. But yeah, that should be like, I don't even know, 30,000 firecrackers or something stupid like that. And then as we continue down, you'll see more of the 2,500 rolls. When we get down here, this is where we have our first 4,000 roll. And so we kind of switch to these. I know we do have a 2,500 right there, but this is what the 4,000 looks like. So we got 4,000, 2,500, we got 4,000, another 4, another 4, and this is actually where the other 16,000 roll starts. So the first 16,000 roll ends right here. Then the other one, we kind of did this double chain to ensure the finale goes off. We really want to make sure that the finale fires here because as you can see, things get a little bit crazy at the end. This is probably 50,000 firecrackers, and we even got creative and put some additional firecrackers down in there. And then finally, it'll trickle out, hit one final head bomb. And after the head bomb, we've got quick fuse going into the Raccoon Pro Cake, which is basically a firecracker in the air. So we're gonna have all these firecrackers going off here on the ground. And additionally, we're gonna have 100 large firecrackers going off in the air at the very end. Down here at the end of the line, I've got the GoPro 360 Max. So hopefully we can get a cool shot of that line with this. And then way off in the distance, you can see my tripod that actually tipped over in the wind. So I'll have to go fix that. But yeah, it's like way over there. So that one's gonna capture the entire line from the side. That GoPro down there, we're gonna look at it from this way. And of course the 360 Max, we're gonna see it from this way. And I will be holding this camera while it's going off. So hopefully we don't miss anything. I mean, just look at how insane this line is. I don't think I've ever done a line of firecrackers quite this large. When we did the 1,000,000 firecrackers, they were kind of all in the same spot, but here you can see in wide angle. I mean, just look at this. I can't get over how crazy that looks. All right, well, I hope we get some good footage for you, and we'll see you when we light it off. Again, don't forget to check out fireworksplus.com. Free shipping after $600 and 10% off with the coupon code. All right, we are about to achieve maximum insanity. Here we go, 150,000 firecrackers, just because. Oh man, these gaps in between are gonna be really slow if this is the pace. You gotta be kidding me with this. We should have lit it from both ends. All right, it's about to hit one of the 2500 rolls. Let's see what that sounds like. That's gonna make this way less boring. Here comes another one. Down the line. Woo! Oh my God, that is loud. We're not even halfway. I'm not going to be able to hear anything tomorrow. Yep, this is going to be loud. Holy crap! Here we go. Oh my God. Here I was thinking this whole thing would be over in 3 minutes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy cow. Well, I'm not going to be able to hear anything for probably a week. That was one of the more insane things I think I've ever done. Look at that. Well, like always, there are a couple that didn't go off, so we're just going to hit those real quick. I know it's windy, but like, how? I'd really love to know how these survived. Look around it. But either way, we're going to hit it. This is one final 2500 and 3 big ones. Well, I'm assuming that's it. Everything else did go off.